Hi, Sam here. Welcome to this etude lesson, and I'm going to be looking at 80s style arpeggios. That was my kind of Right, I'm ready for the video. So today we're going to take a look at some 80s style arpeggios. That was my kind of key point to jump off with this lesson, and hope some of these ideas are helpful in your own practice and playing. Now, if you'd like to actually get the tablature for this and also see some detailed written text to go with them, then check out the blog in the description of this video on YouTube, and you'll be able to check out the details there. It's on sambellguitar.com. So without further ado, grab your guitar. We're in standard tuning for this lesson because most people probably tune standard generally, but then I wonder why, if everyone tuned to E flat, maybe the world be a different place, who knows. But anyway, E standard it is. So moving over to the guitar, this is my Eternal guitar, and by the way, for this lesson I'm using the 14 Cali suit for my tones. It sounds really 80s and cool. So diving in, we are following a chord progression at the start of this tune. The chord progression, I've got the most inappropriate tone for this, but anyway, it's A minor, F, D minor, we got B flat major, major 7 sharp 11, that's the vibe, back to A minor, to an E7. That's kind of what's going on in that rhythm guitar. Something along those lines. The tablature for that riff is also on the blog. Check out the blog. So moving over to the guitar. So the first part, I'm just going to be taking these triads. A triad is basically 3 notes of a chord. So the basic ones, the root, the third and the fifth. I'm not going to go too theoretical because some people will stop watching, but you should definitely learn your triads and the theory behind them. But basically for the 80s thing, I'm going for a sort of downstroke on that pattern there, on the D, G and B string of A minor. Then to keep the voice leading close, voice leading is an interesting word. Voice leading means keeping, if there's 2 chords next to each other, that when you change, you only change the bare minimum notes, and that can lead to very smooth sounding chord changes, and it can also help inspire melodies. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm going to keep that A minor chord shape as our home, and then we're going to go from there to F by simply putting the middle finger on the B string. Okay, and then it's going to go to D minor. So then from that pattern, all I'm going to do is add this note here on the 7th fret. So this is coming out of this shape of D minor as an A minor shape. So just to recap, we've got A minor, and I'm taking these 3 notes. We've got F major, I'm taking these 3 notes, and for D minor, I'm taking these 3 notes. There we are. That's why cage system is useful. So, and then after that, we go to B flat major, and for this I'm just going to keep a B major arpeggio. I can't remember exactly what I did actually. I had an idea, but I sort of improvised it-ish, with the rhythm and what notes I paused on. But check out the tab in the blog, and then you'll get the detail of. I'll try and tab it as closely to what I played. Okay, so B flat. The only caveat there is I'm highlighting that last note. That's the 9th fret on the G string, and that's actually that note in. It's a sharp 11, which makes it sound quite expensive, and it's actually completely free because this YouTube video, hopefully, you probably had to watch an ad, but that's not in my control. But there we are. Maybe not. I don't think most channels monetized. Anyway, so B flat major 7 sharp 11, just highlighting just basically the triad and the sharp 11. Trying to work on my vibrato always, but that wide vibrato, I love it. You can hear loads of great examples of that. George Lynch, great vibrato. You can hear in like Nuno Bettencourt and Van Halen some wide vibrato going on there, and Satchel, Steel Panther, there we go, wide vibrato, sounds awesome. Zach Wild, of course, as well. Loads of players have, it's just make the vibrato wide and wild. Okay, cool. So moving on from there, we go back to A minor, and then we're going to go to E major. Just using that C shape, taking these three. But I think, I can't remember quite, but I went between those notes. That's E, that's F, that's a semitone above E, and that's a flat 9 in relation to E. So that's kind of delving into that Phrygian dominant sound, if you're interested in that. All words are just signposts for the ineffable. In this case, it's sound. Okay, so moving on from this point, we're going to go back over. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please like, subscribe and share. Leave a comment if you're enjoying it so far. And don't forget to check out the blog because it really helps me out. And, you know, I'm just trying to help a few people in my own way. I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm not a vet. I'm not curing any diseases. I'm playing guitar. Anyway, so, you know, if this is helpful and makes your day better, then my job is done. Okay, so moving on, we'll get into some licks. Now, this next lick is inspired by the amazing Eddie Van Halen, but I'm actually coming at it from a more Journey-esque approach. So, this is it's in A. By the way, we're soloing mostly in for the whole of this solo. It's A minor. So any patterns you've got of that are going to be helpful for mapping out some of these licks. But for this part, I'm really just thinking of that classic bend on the G string and 7th fret. Once you've bent it up, we're going to tap on 12. And we're going to tap whilst keeping that bend kind of going on 12, 14 and 15. You might notice though that on the fretting hand, I'm kind of bending around a bit, you know, just giving it a bit more steez, as the skateboarders used to call it back in my day when I was a teenager who used to skateboard. If you landed your tricks with like straight knees, that was a bit, you know, sloppy, but if you had steez, you made everything just look like you were, I don't know, CGI rendered or something. I don't know, like an elastic person. Anyway, so that's the first one, steezy bends. At this point, the backing track goes to F, and then I do this sort of thing. It's a little arpeggio. It's a little arpeggio for you. So we do a little bit of a bluesy lick, which, you know, is kind of a bit of a mouthful really to get in before. So don't worry if that doesn't work out, because I found that really difficult. But and then we have this. So let me take you through it. So it's just straight up F major 7, just starting on the major 7th. Now I'm not going to tab it out on the screen because you can check out the blog. Please check out the blog because it's a free tab and it's on. You just click it and you're there, okay? And it's on the actual blog. So you'll get the tab. But this is just to show you the fingering I'm using. So I'm sliding like that, and this is coming out of a C shape thing. Oh, neck pickup sounds great. This guitar is made by Eternal Guitars here in the UK, and I love the sound of this guitar. Anyway, F major 7. And then I should have used the neck pickup for the solo. That sounds great. So we're sliding out at the top. It's a thirds-based interval sequence. So again, it's just, you know, if you're thinking of the notes of A minor in that position, it's nice and symmetrical. It's just those frets on each string, nice and easy. But we're just going down and landing on that note there, which is over D minor if I'm analysing. It's a fifth over D minor. I didn't really think about that when I was doing it, but it just sounded cool to land on that note. So we have now at this point, it goes to B flat major, and you know you can actually use A minor pentatonic over this chord change to get a Lydian sound, because A minor pentatonic over B flat major 7 is, you get the major 7th, 9th, 4th, sharp, 11 and 6th if you're interested in the theory. Or you can just think minor pentatonic down 1/2 step from your B flat major 7, in this case A minor 7, A minor pentatonic. God, what am I saying? I'm not editing this video. This is I'm going in. You're seeing it raw. That's going to help you get a Lydian sound. But right here, I don't do that, which is really unhelpful for me to have gone on that theoretical tirade. But to go back, I take from... I bend from the A note to B flat, and because it's B flat, it's the root note. There's no reason for that apart from I like the sound of that. But if you know, I guess it's a really obvious note to play with a B flat is B flat, and because we've had quite a lot of notes, maybe it's quite a nice palate cleanser just to bring us back. And anyway, it's just an etude. It's not a piece of music anyway. So at that point, we hold that. Wide vibrato, turning of the key. Paul Gilbert talks about, when you get home at night and you've got the key and you put it in the door and you twist. That is the motion we're doing, rocking off our hand. Making sure by the way, you're making sure that note returns. I hear, I'm a guitar tutor, believe it or not, and sometimes, I hear it in my own playing a lot as well if I'm not concentrating. It not going back to the actual pitch of the note you're actually putting vibrato on is weird. So just make sure it goes back. It sounds nice. It sounds more confident, Wide vibrato can hide that nicely as well, so that's why wide vibrato is extra cool. Right, and then we have... I'm highlighting an F sus2 over a B flat, which gives us a kind of B major 13th sound, but I'm not thinking about that too much. It's just a cool little neo-soul pattern. A neo-soul pattern in an 80s rock-inspired guitar solo. Wow, it's definitely 2024 at the time of recording this video. So we have a hammer on, another hammer on, slide and then grab. So, and in triplets. Like that. That's pretty cool. I like that, and the reason why it gives those notes are in Lydian, but I don't know. You just find these things, don't you? Just use your ears. Anyway, moving on. It goes back to A minor, to E7, and that change we have the final lick, and it was something along these lines. Let's see if I can play it slowly and not sloppily. Okay, maybe that was slightly better. Anyway, so for the first portion, you can definitely... I'm trying to outline those chords. So we have this... That first phrase. Now, this isn't... I'm in position 3 of the A minor pentatonic scale. But adding in the B notes... a bit of a sugary there. Anyway, we're going to start on the 9th. That in itself is a really cool pattern. I'll play it real slow. And then we're going to go... I think that's what we do. Yeah. And at the end now I'm picking those notes. So... just because it gives it a bit of contrast. Now this, if you really want to know, that is the pentatonic add 9 scale. That's what you could call it if you want. You could call it bobette. You could call it whatever you want. It's just a name for sound and a collection of notes, and it's whatever it means to you. But that collection of notes, minor pentatonic with an added 9th, you hear loads of players use it. It's really melodic sounding. Everything. I mean, it transcends a genre or an era. I think it's recognisable in players like Eric Johnson. You'll hear it a lot in very melodic soloists such as Andy James and Andy Timmons, both Andys. And we also have things like, I don't know, Tim Pierce, for example. When he goes into his pentatonic solo and he starts to go away from the bluesy stuff, his pentatonic runs off and add in that 9th. It's just a really common thing. It sounds really good, and it's not like a whole new scale. It's just adding one note to that minor pentatonic. So that's a good pattern for that. That's a little bit of a bit of a digression there, but hopefully useful. So yeah. At this point it goes to the key of E, and it's an E7, and I decided at this point to go for some arpeggios. that's what I do. So this is E7 root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. So I'll play that real slow. Don't forget the tabs on the blog as well, but so we're just basically moving, that's one pattern. Then we're basically repeating those notes but in a different inversion, meaning we've kind of flipped them over. These are both really cool patterns to mess around with your playing. Anyway, what am I doing? So anyway, back to the lick. I think that's what I do. No, I don't. I go... Then I do a little finger swap. Then I try to land that last note nicely, but I can't remember what happens on the original. But that's say the original like it's some classic tune. It's just a short educational etude that I put together for the sake of maybe helping some of you lovely people out, or maybe just giving you some slight entertainment about how rubbish a guitar tutor and guitarist I am. But actually, I believe in myself. I think I've got something to give. I'm wearing a hat, got a guitar. So that's the etude. You can get the tab on my website, sambellguitar.com. The link to that actual blog itself is in the description, and I've also probably written some extra notes there on some theoretical things if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So that's it, some 80s arpeggios to get into your playing. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope wherever you are that you're well and you're not having too many kind of ups and downs, and mostly ups, and that you're able to cope with the downs, and that you're feeling good about playing guitar. I mean, it's a guitar. So it's simple, isn't it? Really, you just play it, but we can overcomplicate it. So just enjoy, take what's useful, discard the rest, and have fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been Sam Bell. I'll see you soon. I'm going to press stop in a minute. I'll stop talking at the same time. Here we go.